How can a killer leave behind DNA, CCTV, eyewitnesses, and still disappear without a trace? Why has no one been charged despite CCTV, eyewitnesses, and physical evidence? After more than 15 years, who is still protecting the truth? In 2009, a man named Alan Wood was murdered in his own home. In Lincolnshire, England, the killers took his bank card, his PIN, and £200. His DNA profile was compared against criminal databases in the UK and 47 other countries. No match was ever found. CCTV footage captured the suspect's face, a footprint was recovered, a bus ticket, an eyewitness description, and yet no one has ever been charged with DNA, CCTV footage, eyewitnesses, and significant physical evidence. How can a murder like this remain unsolved for more than 15 years? To understand that, we have to start with Alan Wood. Alan Wood was an ordinary man living quietly in Lincolnshire, England. He was not wealthy. He was not involved in anything dangerous. By all accounts, he was simply a man living his life. But on one night in 2009, someone entered his home, and Alan Wood was murdered, brutally, for something worth less than £200. The details of what happened inside that house are difficult to read. Alan was attacked with extreme violence. The level of force used led some investigators to believe the attackers may not have been first-time offenders. But that remains unconfirmed. What is confirmed is that after the attack, the killers took Alan's bank card, forced him to reveal his PIN, then walked calmly to the nearest ATM in full view of security cameras and attempted to withdraw money. What made this case unusual was not the lack of evidence. It was the significant amount of physical evidence recovered. A full DNA profile was found at the scene. Male, unknown. That profile was compared against criminal DNA databases in the UK and 47 other countries. No match was ever found. CCTV footage from ATM cameras captured the suspect clearly. Height estimated between 5'9" and 5'11". He had a noticeable limp, consistent with one leg being shorter than the other. He was seen smoking. He appeared calm and unhurried. A bus ticket was recovered near the scene. Alan Wood did not use buses. A footprint was found. Size 8. Red Converse Mark LE. A very specific and identifiable shoe. An eyewitness provided a detailed description of the suspect. For a murder investigation, this represented a substantial collection of physical evidence. And yet, it led nowhere. No match was ever found. With all of this evidence collected, how has no one been charged? The DNA matched no one in 48 countries, which raises a difficult question. Did the suspect simply have no prior criminal record anywhere in the world? Or did they come from a region where DNA databases were limited or simply did not exist? Investigators explored the possibility that the suspects may have been from Eastern Europe, perhaps working seasonally in the Lincolnshire area, familiar enough with the local surroundings to find Alan's home. But no official conclusion on this has ever been publicly announced. The shoe was specific. The limp was distinctive. The CCTV images were clear. And yet, no arrest followed. Perhaps the most troubling detail of all is the motive. British bank cards have strict daily withdrawal limits. One theory is that the killers may not have known about those limits. They may have believed they were taking far more than £200. A man was murdered for a possible miscalculation, for what may have been a fundamental misunderstanding of how British banking works. The violence of the attack, measured against the smallness of what was taken, remains one of the most difficult aspects of this case to reconcile. Publicly available records indicate investigators carried out an extensive investigation. The evidence was collected carefully. The databases were checked, all 48 of them. Appeals were made to the public. Information was gathered. Leads were followed. But somewhere along the way, the trail went cold. Investigators have considered the possibility that the suspects left the UK after the crime. If that happened, locating them would have become significantly more difficult. But this too remains a possibility, not a confirmed fact. Alan Wood's case is not officially cold. It is described as periodically reviewed, which means somewhere in Lincolnshire there is a file containing a full DNA profile, clear CCTV images, a specific shoe size, a bus ticket, an eyewitness description, and no name attached to any of it. The case remains open, and Alan Wood's family is still waiting. This case raises a question that applies to many unsolved crimes. What happens when the evidence exists, but the person it points to remains beyond reach? No database match, no confirmed location, no way to close the distance between what is known and what can be proven in a court of law. Alan Wood deserved better. His family deserves answers. Somewhere, someone knows exactly what happened inside Alan Wood's home that night. The evidence still exists. The questions remain. And until those answers are found, Alan Wood's story is not over. If you know anything about this case, Lincolnshire police are still accepting information. And if you have ever followed a case where the evidence existed, but justice never came, tell me in the comments, because sometimes the only thing keeping a case alive is someone who refuses to stop asking questions. Do you know another unsolved case with overwhelming evidence, but no justice? Tell me in the comments. Your suggestion could be featured in a future documentary.